I can understand why people and members are angry. I am angry too. The previous government let people down. Mr. Speaker, the previous government made commitment after commitment without knowing where the money was going to come from. They did this repeatedly, knowingly and deliberately. Today I am calling out the Conservatives' cover-up, and I am taking the first steps to clean up what they have left behind. But the scale of the inheritance we have been left means the decisions we have so far announced will not be enough. This level of overspend is not sustainable. Left unchecked, it is a risk to economic stability.
I noticed she's reading from notes that was written and not coming from her, as if it was written for her. Also, she is coming across as this harsh and authority woman that likes to be in charge. All what she's saying is carefully written down, well scripted.
The scale of the situation we are dealing with means incredibly tough choices. I repeat today the commitment that we made in our manifesto to protect the triple lock. But today I am making the difficult decision that those not in receipt of pension credit or certain other means-tested benefits will no longer receive the winter fuel payment from this year onwards.
Did I understand that correctly, that she's gone back on her words?
The government will continue to provide winter fuel payments worth £200 to households receiving pension credit, or £300 to households in receipt of pension credit with someone over the age of 80.
Again, did I hear that right? Why over 80? Why not under 80? I'm sure there is more under 80s than over 80s. They really done their homework, how to con and trick people. They really are screwing the pensioners. They know that most pensioners don't stay alive over 80. And what about those who can't get pension credit and they are in hardship? What about those who are more than one or two pensioners in the house that are under 80? Because they know these over 80s will die quicker than under 80s. What a con. What a liars. How can you trust this government?
Let me be clear. This is not a decision I wanted to make. Nor is it the one that I expected to make. But these are the necessary and urgent decisions that I must make.
Surprise, surprise. So she or they lied to get votes, and now that they are in power, they change their minds. So their promises don't mean anything. 1 minute they promise, and next they break their promises. How can you trust this government? They're taking us for a fool. This is about defending our pensioners. The truth about means testing for fuel allowance. I'm not well off, nor am I desperate. I have a comfortable life, and I'm a pensioner. But what if I was desperate and in a bad position like some of them, or most of them, that got no help? There are growing concerns and rumors that older people in our society may soon have to undergo a means test to qualify for the winter fuel allowance, a vital support to help them stay warm during freezing winters. This will mean filling out forms with numerous questions to prove their eligibility. But how many pensioners, especially those with poor eyesight or limited literacy, can easily navigate such a complex paperwork? And I believe it's about 120 questions or more. It's a real challenge, and one that raises serious questions about fairness and compassion. It seems as though the government is making it increasingly difficult for pensioners to receive the help they need. Some might say this reflects a broader, disturbing attitude that pensioners are seen as a burden on society. After a lifetime of contribution to the economy, working hard and paying taxes, our older citizens are now being treated as if they are no longer valuable. This perception is not only unfair, it's deeply troubling. Pensioners have spent decades supporting the economy, building the nation we live in today. Many have served in the military, defending our country during times of war, or worked in essential industries, keeping society functioning smoothly. Yet now it feels as though they are being abandoned, with the government prioritizing other groups over those who have given so much. Take, for example, the disparity between pensioners and those who receive step support without having contributed to the economy. Some pensioners struggle to afford basic necessities, yet others, including some who may not have worked a day in their lives, seems to have access to luxuries like large TVs, smartphones and cars, all while relying on government assistance. This imbalance is hard to ignore. And what about the thousands of illegal immigrants that are let in, and giving housing with heating, food, financial benefits. Yes, financial benefits. Some of them get mobile phones that most English pensioners can't even afford to put a SIM card in. And they have iPhones, and not just any mobile phones. The list goes on. There is also the issue of government spending priorities. Why is that the pensioners are being asked to tighten the belts while the government continues to send financial aid abroad, sometimes to countries with corrupt regimes? Why are we financing wars and international agendas while our own pensioners suffer? It's difficult to understand these choices, especially when our own citizens are in need. And now there's a talk of raising the pension age to 70. This raises an important question. How many people will even live to see that age? Well, those in power aren't worried about this age because they will be millionaires by the time they get ousted from the power. The notion that people are living longer is often used to justify these changes, but it's not the full picture. They're lying. Many people, especially those in physically demanding jobs, face decline in health well before they reach 70. Forcing them to work longer is not just impractical, it's inhumane. If we continue down this path, we risk creating a society where our older people are left to fend for themselves, struggling to survive without the support they deserve. This isn't about money, it's about respect, dignity, and acknowledging the contribution that pensioners have made throughout their lives. The government needs to reconsider its approach. We must ensure that pensioners are not pushed aside or forgotten. They deserve better than to be treated as a burden. They deserve to live their later years with dignity, security, and the recognition of the valuable contribution to our society. In the end, how we treat our pensioners is a reflection of our values as a society. Let's choose to value and protect them rather than making their lives more difficult in the most vulnerable years. One last thought. Who knows what's going on behind closed doors? How do we know where all the tax money goes to? How do we know if all they're saying is true, that they pay for this and they pay for that, and how much? Can they show a proof of receipt to the public? And how do we know that there is £20 billion shortfall? How do we know that world leaders are in a secret club to help each other to boost their personal bank balance? And by using illegal immigrants as a smokescreen to take our attention away from their secret agendas that will be unveiled soon. That's why they become rich and the poor become poorer, and pensioners are left out to dry or die. Before I go, I'd like to make one crucial point. They're threatening pensioners with their hard earned savings, money they already pay taxes on and work tirelessly to secure. And what about their homes? Homes they spent years paying high interest rates for, enduring the nightmare of rising rates that once soared over 15%. These pensioners, long before they retired, were subject to unimaginable stress, with some even seeing their families torn apart by the pressure, getting divorced, splitting up. Countless sleepless nights were spent worrying about how they would keep up with the interest payments just to hold on to their families and homes, and now they want to punish them for that too. They want to strip away everything these pensioners work for and saved to ensure they could live decent lives. They want to take it all away, give it to corrupt countries, and help those who don't even belong here, who can't even speak the language. It's diabolical. It's disgraceful. What do these politicians know about poverty? When they come out with ridiculous comments like Keir Starmer claiming he's been there, that he was poor, he's lying. If he had truly been in that position, he will understand what it feels like. But he wasn't. He's a liar and a manipulator. He lied to get votes, and he's lying now, and he will continue to lie. That's what barristers and lawyers do. They say whatever it takes to win a case, even if they know the person is guilty, or even if he's a murderer or child molester. This country, England, will be unrecognizable within 15 years. It will become like the other countries where you have to take out a health insurance and they want you to sell your assets and your home in order to pay for your health insurance if you haven't got the money to pay for it. That's what's happening, and that's what's going to happen. Thank you for watching, folks. See you next time, hopefully.